To Zelda Tips and Tricks. Today we're going to be talking about freeing Lurelin Village. To start this quest line, you're going to need to go to the Sifumim Shrine in Necluda and talk to these two, Rosal and Bonson. They're on a cliff overlooking their former town, which has been overrun by pirates. They're going to quest you with taking out these pirate invaders. Get down to the village, there are 3 separate groups of pirates in the village. The first is off to the right, next to this still completed house. Most of the enemies in this pirate crew include black and blue bokoblins, as well as some blue lizalfos. So they're not easy to defeat. If you're still pretty early on in the game, this might not be the best challenge for you. Make sure you're well stocked with food, and then as well as bomb flowers, fire fruit, and then ice and shock fruit as well are very helpful. This first group over here has 1 blue bokoblin, which is an archer, and he also has a horn. So if he sees you, he will alert others to your presence. There's also, I believe, 3 black bokoblins and 1 lizalfos in this first group. A good strategy for this part is to climb the hut and stand on the top. From up here, you can shoot arrows with almost impunity, and you can defeat foes easily without getting hurt yourself. Only 2 black bokoblins. That's not bad. Another good strategy is to freeze the foes you don't want to focus on immediately so that you can deal with the easier ones first. Next chunk of the pirate forces is next to a burned down house. Here you're going to find 3 black bokoblins and 1 blue bokoblin. This group is a lot easier because there's no lizalfos, and you just need to avoid taking damage and hit them as hard as you can. After you defeat that group, you're going to want to go up on this little hill, and you're going to see a well. There's going to be a lot of stuff on the well that you might not have taken a picture of, so it's a good spot to take a picture of. But if you hop into the well, there's 1 bokoblin down there. He's also cooking, so you can take some food from him. He's only 1 bokoblin, and remember, bokoblins don't swim super well, so you could just knock them into the water to defeat them. Another group of enemies is sitting on the beach. There's a lizalfos, and then 3 more bokoblins. Try hitting them from afar at first, and then if you need to, get in there and do the work yourself. Try to keep the lizalfo away from you as far and as much as possible. They seem to be the most dangerous because they can hit you from far away. Once you defeated the 3 land-based group of pirates, you're going to want to have to attack the ship as well. That's how you're going to finish off the monster forces. Go back to the original area where you started off the fight and paraglide off their tower onto their boat. Something I attempted to do, which I would not recommend, is to paraglide onto their foremast so you can shoot them from their crow's nest. It alerts them. I wouldn't try it. You're going to find here a boss bokoblin, several Lizalfos, and several regular bokoblins. Use your arrows and your bombs as effectively as you can, and then go to town on their boss before finishing off the rest of them. Yeah, see, once you get to that crow's nest, you're kind of done. There are lots of different barrels and other fun toys on board that you can use to hide yourself, so don't be afraid to use the surroundings to defend yourself with. Climbing up onto the top of the boat is also helpful. As you can see, there are some explosive barrels on the boat that you can shoot to injure people. Don't be afraid to use your bombs to spread damage out. Once you defeat all the pirates, the main core citizens of Lurelin Village will return. This includes the builder Bonson and the leaders of the village. Once you have done this, you're going to be tasked with helping rebuild the village. The first task for this is to collect Hylian rice and logs. Not wood, logs. To find Hylian rice, it's not that hard to do. Off to the left of the town is a bunch of tall grass, and if you slice the grass down, you'll find Hylian rice. You need 20 of these to get the amount of rice you need for this quest, so keep cutting as much as you need. There is a geoglyph off to the left as well, starting on the beach, that is also covering some grassland. You can also find rice there plentifully. To find the wood, or not the wood, the logs for this quest, Bolson suggests you go back up to where you found them originally by the Sifu Mim shrine above the town. Here there are a couple swaths of trees that you can cut down and use to gather your logs. Remember, you don't want to cut the logs down to wood, you just want the logs. As you can see up by the shrine, there are going to be 2 chunks of trees, one over here to the left and one over to the right. You need 15 of these logs. So my suggestion is to cut down the trees. Getting them down to Bonson is easy. If you just toss them off the cliff, they'll roll down to where Bonson is. Once you've brought all the different pieces together to Bonson, he's going to ask you to help him rebuild the different homes and businesses in town. There are 2 houses that need to be rebuilt and 3 businesses. All of these homes, the rebuild process is basically a puzzle. To fix each one, you're going to have to create a central beam that's going to go through that hole in the ceiling, as well as a hole in the floor of the original base of the house. At points, you're going to have to either knock or do other things to make sure that you have a palm tree log into the hut. There are 2 ways to do this. You can try to get the palm tree up and over the central hole, or you can have it come in at a horizontal and then slip it up through the top hole. Both ways work to get that done. The only rebuild project that's truly different is for this home right here, which is actually the inn. For this one, you have to clear the debris out of the inn. To do that, you just need to climb up on the top here and use Ultra Hand to pull out all the different pieces that are stuck in there. Be careful because there are 2 pieces in the bottom that are underneath these original 3 pieces, and it won't work until you get those 2 pieces out too. You're going to need the pieces that had above so that you can connect them together, and it makes it a lot easier. When you finish up, you'll have full access to the town, and they'll give you gifts over the course of the rest of the game, since you have been deemed the village's savior. At the inn in town, you can stay for free, never having to pay to stay overnight and rest. The fishermen in the village will provide you with free fish every day. There is a store that has a magical treasure chest game. You can play it for free once a day. And you can always get free meals at the restaurant, filling your hearts. This has been the guide to fixing Lurelin Village. We'll see you next time.